Okay, so I have not filmed one of these in a very long time and I miss them. And I've filmed, I swear, this video with like different products, I mean, at least 4 times in the past couple of weeks, just trying to get myself to like the video. I don't know what it is because I love watching these videos. They're my favorite to watch, the Will I Buy It series, like new release rambles. Like I love them. Like I literally line them up in my watch later and then just go through them. So I don't know why I'm suddenly so discouraged from filming them all of a sudden. They really were like my favorite part of my channel just to make them, and just suddenly I'm like, so we're gonna film this again. This is gonna be the one that I actually post. I swear to God, I'm not gonna get discouraged by any new products coming out and I'm like, oh, I should have talked about that. It'll just be in the next one. Some of these might be more older news, you know, but whatever. This is what I want to talk about. We're just gonna talk about it and I don't even care anymore. Let's just get into it. In the background, I have to, you're gonna see me on my computer right here. I have to export this video, so help me God. Like last night, I was trying to export it and it was just not going and I don't understand why it wouldn't just export. So I'm here today. I'm actually gonna export it so I can finally update my freaking content. I'm going to lose my mind. Ugh, there's so much. I can already tell that this is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna do what I can to not ramble on for hours and hours, but I am probably gonna speak for a while. And I really don't know where to start. I think I'm actually gonna start with this one because this is like the newest, most interesting thing I'm seeing. So let's just lead off with kind of a good note. This one I probably will ramble on though. So this is the Holidays collection by Melt, and the first thing that I'm seeing is a Smoke Sessions palette, and it's weed themed. There's little like, you know, the leaves on the leaves are pressed into the shadow, y'all know what I'm saying? And honestly, I like this so much. I have been trying so hard to talk myself out of this palette and I can't for some reason. I think it's the shades Sweet Tooth and Blue Dream that like the matte Space Queen color that I just can't stop looking at. And honestly, I kind of wish this palette was 2 separate palettes, like 2 mini quads maybe, and then I would just get that blue one because it's so gorgeous. I mean, it really is. I like this so much. I like this so much. I think it's $45 or $48. It's up there in price. Pretty much, I was kind of hoping it would be a little cheaper than that. However, I don't know. It's still kind of on my radar and I think I might actually end up picking it up whenever it does end up releasing. I'm just kind of like, I'm so into this. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be used with your Melt Gemini, which I actually have, because they do look very like comparable to each other. And when they first started releasing shades, I think they released like some more of their like greeny and like brownie ones, and I was like, what is this Gemini 2 palette? What are we doing? I was kind of like over that, but what am I saying? I'm probably gonna end up picking this up. I mean, I clearly like this. I'm gonna give it a couple of days. I don't think, well, I don't know, it might sell out. Who's to say, quite honestly, with these Melt products. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pick it up. I'm trying to like restrain myself at this moment because if Black Friday rolls around and it turns out I'm kind of bored with this and I was just kind of into it because it was new and exciting, then obviously I won't get it, but this, I'm eyeing that big time. So I've been into the BH Cosmetics Original Zodiac kind of recently. I don't have it in my collection, but I've been eyeing it kind of here and again. I'm very into the purples and the greens that are in that palette. And they're releasing this Zodiac 2 palette. I think it's like their love songs or love signs. I don't know. And this isn't bad. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I'm not going to pick this up. I like the blues and the reds with the orangey mustard tones as well. I think a lot of these big shimmer shades look really pretty. Like some of these pinks that are in here are really gorgeous. That Gemini, like magenta color also seems very stunning as well. I'm a little hesitant about BH Baked shadows. I have not heard the greatest reviews of them. However, their pressed powder formula is pretty spectacular. I have both their Weekender or Weekend Festival palette and the Take Me Back to Brazil, and I think that they are wonderful palettes. So I don't doubt that this is good quality. I'm a little hesitant about the big shadow aspect of it, but the middle shades, which are the ones I was initially looking at, and honestly, if I bought this palette, they would be what I was buying it for. I'm not going to pick this up because it's too big and I'm not that interested in the color story. Makeup Revolution has lost their mind. They're releasing so much stuff right now. I'm seeing several new things. I'm seeing these Glow Revolution Prime Set Glow setting sprays, I believe. So they're kind of like a play on the MAC shimmer sprays, I guess. They look very similar. They look like very nice in the bottle. The whiter one looks very milky. So I'm not entirely sure. This is not something I'm very interested in. I have some glowier sprays, and I really don't have many. I have the Pixie Glow Oil Mist thing, and I'm not too big onto that just because, I don't know, it already makes my face look a little shiny in places it doesn't need to, that I can't imagine setting my face with, I mean, like liquid metallic, you know what I'm saying? Like shimmer spray just seems a little much for me. I could understand using this on the body because I'm seeing on the bottles that it says and body spray. So maybe for the summer this would be a nicer release. However, I think this is kind of a random product for the moment, and I don't know, this is just something that like does not excite me or interest me. They're also releasing new boxed highlighters. These are their Superstar highlighters, I don't know. So they have Superstar, which is like a very yellow gold, Starstruck, which is a pink, cool tone pink. This one cannot trick me or fool me. I'm done. I have enough highlighters, especially cool tone pinks. This one will not get me. And then Gold Star, which is a bronze, coppery kind of color, and in my opinion, the Gold Star should have been the yellow color, right? I don't know, just that made me a little like, okay. I'm not picking these up, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure the quality of these products. I think Makeup Revolution and their sister brands are kind of going up in quality as time goes on, so I think that these may not be bad purchases, and they're probably going to be like $6 or $8. They're also releasing Revolution or Makeup Revolution or whatever, they're both the same thing, are launching cute donut mini eyeshadow palettes, and these won't be available until next year. But I've seen some, I think a video of it where it's literally like the top is like squishy, like those squishy toys all the kids have nowadays, the youths, you know? That's kind of, I don't know, I think that's kind of cute packaging. It's very cutesy, little gimmicky, but you know, that's okay. I think Revolution, which I'm guessing is the one of the two brands that's releasing this, they tend to do a lot more like cutesy, gimmicky kind of products versus Makeup Revolution, and I think that these are pretty. And honestly, she opened the pink one, which is the top one, and it's not a bad color story. I don't know the true quality of Makeup Revolution shadows. I haven't really tried any of them, so I'm not sure how good this actually will be, but I think it's very pretty on the inside, and hoping that these other shades will kind of be similar to that. I was waiting for these releases. I'm so glad to see some more of them. I'm hoping they expand this line. This is the Sephora Pro mini eyeshadow palettes. They have the Whimsical and the Warm Matte. Of course, the Warm Matte is like everything we've ever seen before. Just some basic browns, like the last two shades and the first two shades look way too similar, and then it's like a very pale yellow and a pale orange, and I'm like, ugh, I'm over it. And they have the Whimsical palette, which looks oddly similar to the Snow Angels palette by Dose of Colors. However, this one seems to have a more pinky purple tone shade versus like a cranberry berry kind of color. And the blue also is a little more royal, I think, than the other one is, but they do have similarities to them. However, I definitely want to pick this one up. It's supposed to be releasing today when I am filming this, and this is also the last day of the last weekend for the VIB sale again. I don't know, that was like a crazy situation or whatever. So I do plan on kind of adding that to my cart because I really love the matte formula of the Sephora Pro eyeshadows. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the shimmers. I really don't love them in my Pro Editorial 1 palette. I think that they have a lot of fallout. There's only 2 are in this that I can see. I think maybe 3. That last shade might be kind of a shimmer. But I'm very interested in that. I like that a lot. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. I believe these are $20 going off of the last one. So I do have the Whimsical palette on my radar. I probably will pick it up today if they have it available, which they should. Kylies Holiday Collection. I'm pointing over here like I'm going to put it here. It's over here. Kylie Holiday Collection. This packaging is gorgeous. I love the light baby blue color with the snowflakes. I think it's gorgeous. The palette is, in my opinion, very boring. However, I think for a holiday palette, this isn't a bad release. I think that these are colors that a lot of women will want and will get use out of, and it's a very nice like palette to get as a gift because it's nothing too out of the box, but it's also not too dull that it's, you know, it's kind of a perfect range of colors, I think, especially for the holidays, so I'm not mad at it. She has 2 blushes, a light pink and then a light peach. I love both of those a lot, and I've never tried her blush formula, so I do have some interest in those, but I'm not too big on ordering from Kylie's website. I don't know if I'll actually end up picking those up, but I think that they're really pretty. I'm not planning on picking up any of her lip sets or her loose highlighters or her pressed highlighter, and apparently she's supposed to have some finishing powder. I wonder if that's not a blush, but it's a finishing powder, because that's what I saw in the Nicole Concealio video. Yeah, okay, so that's not a blush. Oh my gosh, my bad. That is a setting powder. It looks very, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of colored setting powders, especially when you're only releasing one shade, because then it doesn't work for everyone. This looks like it'll be a little dark on my fair skin, but I heard good things about it from the Nicole Concealio video. You know, I would love to see more reviews on it, but if she released that in more shades, I'd be more inclined to pick it up, as well as that blush, which I think is really gorgeous. I'm not getting anything from this collection. This is the LOreal Los Angeles collection, winter collection, the Sleigh Bell something. There's lipsticks, and I don't want those. There's a loose highlight, which it looks really pretty. I'm not gonna pick that up. And then there's 3 shades of loose highlight. That's really cool. And then there's an eyeshadow palette, which I just found kind of boring. It's not like the worst holiday palette I've ever seen, but I'm very not interested in it. For me, I have a couple brands, and I'll mention this with my next product as well, that I'm kind of just not into buying them for one reason or another. I'm kind of a little over LOreal Los Angeles. I think she needs to be in the doghouse for a little bit. I don't really love the way she handled the whole controversy. I won't get into it too much because it's all just makeup and we shouldn't put so much into it. However, I don't know. I think she showed a lot of true colors when she handled the whole situation, and it puts a bad taste in my mouth. So I won't be picking any of this up. And the same thing goes for, and I'm sorry to say this, the Kat Von D Lolita palette. I think this is very pretty. However, I'm a little sick of seeing this color story. This is Urban Decay Naked Cherry, Huda Beauty New Nude, and we're kind of seeing this over and over again, and I'm a little done with it. Kind of feel like we're beating a dead horse. I think in this day and age, people kind of push color stories as far as they'll go, and I think with, you know, like the oversaturation in the market, it's happening a lot quicker than it used to. So I'm just a little tired of this. I know she was planning this for a while, so I wish she would have released it earlier, but the same thing kind of applies to her, like I said with LOreal. I'm not really buying from Kat Von D right now. One, because I disagree with how I do disagree with the whole anti-vax thing. Yes, it is her baby and it's her choice. However, I really did not love the way she handled it. She seemed to be really rude to a lot of people. There's just kind of a lot of like, there's a lot of discomfort there for me. And so usually when I feel like guilty ordering something from a company, I figured I might as well just not buy from them anymore. Okay, so let's talk about Colorpop, because they have a huge collection coming out. The first thing before I get into their holiday collection is the NKLA, which is the No Kill Shelter in Los Angeles. They have a collaboration with them again, and it is a quad with 4 Super Shock shadows. 1 is a matte and 3 are shimmers. These are really gorgeous, and this is a really nice collaboration because all proceeds go to the No Kill Shelters in Los Angeles, which is great. I might buy one just to kind of support the cause, but none of these shades are things that interest me too much, so we'll see about that, but I do like supporting these collaborations. And then they are releasing the mother of all, honestly, this is just the mother of all rainbow collabs. Like, collections. I've never seen anything so crazy. I mean, I shouldn't probably have said that, but like, dude, this is very intense. So they are releasing the This Is Not a Dream collection. In my opinion, this should have been a spring release, but I do like the contrast of these products versus other holiday products that are out right now. However, I think this probably would have done a little bit better releasing in the springtime. Palette is gorgeous. This is, I think, the Chasing Rainbows or something palette, and it has some similarities to their My Little Pony palette. They're not the exact same, but I think they do have some similarities to it. I like this one a lot more than I liked that palette, and I do plan on picking this up. I think it's gorgeous. It's $20. It is 15 shades. It's 15 shades, and I think that they're really pretty and they all go really well together. I think this is a really good example of being a rainbow palette without being boring, and I love it a lot. I really enjoy that aspect of it. They're also releasing a bunch of lipsticks. I mean, ultra satins, ultra metallics, ultra mattes, and ultra glossy lips. I think that there's so many. The only one I was super interested in, because I looked at some of the glosses, and when I looked at the swatches, they actually ended up making the lips look so gross, so I'm gonna end up skipping on the glosses. However, there is an ultra satin lip in the shade Make Believe, and it's kind of a light blue periwinkle kind of color. I think it's stunning, and I really do love that one as well. I don't think I'll end up picking anything else up. I thought briefly about getting a Jelly Much shadow, especially the green one, but when I think about how often I'll probably end up using that, it's not very often, and I really just wanted to get it to test the formula and see what that's like, but I don't think that's a good enough reason to buy it, so I'm gonna go ahead and not worry about that. But I do plan on picking up the palette and that one ultra satin lip, and this collection is huge. I mean, they're coming out with glitters and super shock cheeks and Jelly Much shadows and lipsticks, lippy sticks. There's so many things to get from this collection. Highlighters, like, just check it out because I'm sure you will find something, and they're all really beautiful shades. So when I heard that Lawless was releasing a palette, I immediately was like, oh, this is gonna be boring. Show me what you got, girl. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, that's actually very beautiful. It's a beautiful warm toned palette. This is kind of making all like warm tone neutral palettes look a little gross. I think this is really very pretty. I love the last row with the berries and like that deep, almost kind of like gray, like brown. I think this is really pretty, and the shade Cutie with like the like pink shimmer. Don't know how much it's actually going to end up being, and it's not released yet. It will release in December. I have my eye on it a little bit. I kind of wish it would have released during the VIB sale, and then I would have been more inclined to pick it up, but it's on my radar. I'm not going to get it right away. I'm probably going to wait and see if I really end up needing this palette or really wanting this palette. I think it's really gorgeous though. This is the Tarte Pro Remix palette, and honestly, stop, Tarte, stop. You tried. I can give you props for trying to do color, but this is a massive fail. And when you look at it, one, there's no mattes, so already, like, seriously. Two, these shimmer shades, do you not have these anywhere else in your collection? I'm talking to you, the consumer, because I mean, there's like a very yellow gold, like a typical purple, a bunch of just kind of regular shimmer shades, and the only thing that's kind of like really exciting in this palette is that one green shade in the corner, and everything else is just so boring to me. I really wanted them to release something so much more exciting than this, and I was a little foolish enough to think that they could. This is the most Tarte rainbow crap I've ever seen. Like, I should not have expected anything but this from them. I find this incredibly boring and just, like, how could I have expected anything different? KKW Beauty is releasing her Glam Bible holiday collection. I think this is only available as a set, and I was a little saddened by this because there's a lot of different products that she doesn't have in her permanent collection that are in this. Like, she has a mascara that's in here, and like lashes and like liners and stuff. And I think that those would do so well if they were separate in the collection. I'm not sure if they are. I think that they're only available in the set. This is like a nice, very expensive set. It's $150 for you to give to somebody who either really likes Kim Kardashian or really likes neutral makeup. Then yeah, I think this is really nice, but personally, I don't want anything to do with this. I think the palette is just very like boring and like nothing she hasn't done before, nothing we haven't seen before. I don't know how I feel about this, and I'm a little weirded out that she's selling this big set with like products she hasn't released yet because we don't know if these are any good. So you're pretty much just buying it for her namesake. Apple is releasing these highlighters. I don't need any more highlighters. I'm trying so hard to not buy any more highlighters. I don't need them, and quite frankly, I'm a little burnt out on them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass on these. The Certify Affinity Palette is stunning. So it's on pre-order right now, and I'm debating if I should wait or if I should just go ahead and pre-order it. I think it is so gorgeous. I love the oranges with the purples, that last 9 shades, those last 9 shades with the purple. Ugh, you can't even get me started. These are gorgeous, and I think that, I don't know, I've really been interested in trying the Certify formula, so I think this is what's gonna probably get that started for me. e.l.f. Jelly highlighters. Okay, sure, fine. Everyone's kind of getting on the jelly highlighter train, and it's only a matter of time before, I mean, it's all we see in the drugstore. So basically, I'm not picking these up. I have a jelly highlighter already, and it's pretty much just like, it's fun and gimmicky thing, and I kind of am like a little like, no, why did I buy this? It's not horrible. I actually do kind of enjoy it, but it's not my favorite thing, and I don't really love like cream highlighters exactly, so it's just okay for me, and I don't think I'm gonna pick these up. I kind of wish I would have waited to pick up the e.l.f. ones though, because they probably would have been a little cheaper, even though I did get Makeup Revolution, and that's really not expensive either. Lastly, let's go ahead and talk about this, because this actually shocked me. It's nice to see Bad Habit Beauty actually stepping out of their comfort zone. This is their original Pretty Poison palette. I'm so happy to see them finally doing something that's not a dupe of something else. I was getting really bored with that. The same thing happened with Makeup Revolution when they were like constantly duping things. I was so bored with them. I was over it. And this is something that's nice and new. It's very like resembling the Lila palette by Natasha Denona, but I think this is a little bit better. I don't plan on picking this up. I have not heard the best of things from Bad Habit Beauty. So I don't know. I don't really plan on buying anything from them, but I think this is really nice. And like I said, I'm glad to see them doing some original work. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I gotta wrap it up because my friends are coming and I have not seen them in months. So I'm going to go ahead and head out and have some fun with them. Thank y'all again for watching. Let me know if there's any new products you've heard about, are interested in, or don't want anything to do with. Let me know and I'll check them out and I'll probably talk about them in the next one. Also, I wanted to take a moment real quick to talk about 150 subscribers. You guys are crazy. How on earth do y'all like me enough to subscribe to me? I'm so touched. Thank you guys so much for your follows. They're so, like, I'm treasuring you. I'm treasuring you right now. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.